Jonah Hill was Hollywood's lovable goofball, the funny fat kid who turned into an Oscar-nominated star. From Superbad to The Wolf of Wall Street, Jonah Hill became a symbol of reinvention. But in 2023, that image cracked. A series of leaked text messages from his ex-girlfriend went viral. What they showed wasn't funny, it wasn't charming. It was cold, controlling, emotional manipulation. And suddenly, Jonah Hill wasn't the nice guy anymore. This is the story of power, therapy language turned toxic, and a celebrity culture built on pretending. Of a man torn between personal healing and public harm. Born in Los Angeles in 1983, Jonah Hill grew up surrounded by entertainment. But he wasn't your typical star. Awkward, insecure, funny, he made his name playing the underdog. The guy who never got the girl, the sidekick. In 2007, Superbad turned him into a household name. And he didn't stop there. He shed the weight, shifted genres. From Judd Apatow comedies to serious roles in Moneyball and The Wolf of Wall Street, he earned critical acclaim. To Oscar nominations, he directed indie films, collaborated with artists, gained fashion cred. Jonah became a symbol of transformation. He wasn't just the fat kid anymore. He was talented. He was respected. He was proof that reinvention was possible. But fame came with baggage. Paparazzi mocked his weight. Talk shows ridiculed his emotions. Tabloids followed his relationships, and Jonah, he started to change. He became guarded, defensive, sometimes combative with the press. It wasn't just about the weight, it was about control. In 2021, Jonah began dating Sarah Brady, a professional surfer, artist, and advocate for mental health. At first, the relationship seemed healthy, empowered, both openly talked about therapy, boundaries, self-growth. They were the modern, evolved couple. But behind closed screens, something else was happening. In July 2023, Sarah Brady posted screenshots of their texts. Jonah's words were calm, polite, but deeply controlling. If you need surfing with men, posting bathing suit pics, friendships with women in unstable places. I'm not the right partner for you. He framed it as boundaries, but critics saw manipulation. Emotional abuse hidden under the language of therapy. Sarah said she waited to share until she was safe, that she didn't want to hurt him. But that other women deserved to know. The texts spread like wildfire. Celebrities reacted. Therapists explained terms. Influencers picked sides. And the public started asking, is this boundaries or control? Some defended Jonah. They said he was setting his needs, that boundaries are personal. Others saw red flags. They called it gaslighting. Control disguised as care. Therapists weighed in, celebrities commented. Mental health advocates split. Some noted a trend, powerful men using therapy speak to justify emotional control. Jonah didn't respond publicly, but the silence said a lot. And then people started digging. Old interviews, past girlfriends, red carpet interactions. The internet turned into detectives. As the texts trended, people started revisiting Jonah's past. An old interview where he snapped at a female journalist. Clips of him preaching boundaries in ways that now felt loaded. In his 2022 Netflix documentary Stutz, Jonah opened up about therapy, about trauma, about needing control. It was vulnerable, raw, but some now saw it as part of a bigger pattern. Using therapy language as a shield, was Jonah healing or hiding? Was Stutz an act of transparency or a PR mask? The public couldn't decide. As Sarah Brady's posts continued, Jonah stayed offline. No interviews, no apologies, no statements. But the media didn't wait. Pundits debated it. Influencers dissected every message. Some called for cancellation. Others called for compassion. His fans were divided. Some stopped watching his films, others doubled down in defense. But one thing was clear: his image had changed. The funny, sweet guy from 21 Jump Street now felt darker, more complicated. And in a media age obsessed with moral clarity, Jonah's ambiguity became his biggest enemy. What is emotional abuse? Where's the line between setting boundaries and controlling someone? Do men weaponize therapy language to manipulate? Or was Jonah Hill just a flawed person struggling to grow? In the age of screenshots and silence, we may never know the full truth. But we do know this: fame doesn't make you a villain, it just makes your mistakes harder to hide. Because when your private texts go public, your inner life becomes a performance. And suddenly, we're all critics. Jonah Hill rose from underdog to icon. Then watched it all crumble with a few leaked messages. The world that once laughed with him is now questioning who he really is. Is redemption possible? Or has the damage already been done? If this story made you think, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Was Jonah Hill abusive or misunderstood? Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget, every story has more than one side. Until next time, stay curious.